Morning all, I hope you're doing very well. Today I am going to head into London to a part that I think I've never been before. Monica's over in Whitechapel. I'm sure it's only about a 20-minute ride from here, so I'll go and meet her for lunch. I know almost nothing about the area, but I'll take you with me. I wanted to use this opportunity as well to share an update on the book that we've been planning and in the works and had in the works probably for the past, it's probably over a year now. It's going to be called The Lost Biker Stories, and it's a book all about incredible stories of motorcycling from the 50s all the way through to the 80s. It's, as is always the case with almost everything, it's taken much, much longer to get everything in place, but finally all the content is there. The copywriting has all been done, and now we're at a stage where all of the content is with a very talented designer called Ben, and he's going through everything, all of these images, all of the stories, putting them into place and making them look visually appealing and making it make sense in a book layout. And I think we're potentially just a few days away from seeing the final draft of how the book will look. Then we'll just get one copy printed to make sure it looks good, make sure we're happy with the paper quality, and then finally, we'll be able to print the book and it will be available. It's given me, on a personal note, a really nice opportunity to get in touch and to speak to fascinating characters from around the world and listen to their stories, and one of which I wanted to share, a gentleman called Brian Samuel, who just so happens to also be an author. Brian has given me 2 stories for the book, and on top of the 2 stories, he's also sent me some phenomenally good pictures. He's lived everywhere from Grenada, Trinidad, England, USA. But the pictures he sent me back in, I think, the 1960s, racing triumphs through the Caribbean, around the islands. It's like the stuff from a James Bond movie. I almost can't believe these pictures of this high quality, all in black and white, have lasted so long. So, if you are interested in some fresh reading, I recommend it. Song for My Father, Brian Samuel. You can just Google it, put it into Amazon, and you'll find it. But that's given me such a fascinating insight. 1940s, 50s, 60s, Caribbean living with that connection over to England. Been an amazing journey. Right, let's get ready. Triumph Speed 400. Let's see what it's like in the city. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be excellent. Do you like it? Yeah, do you? Yeah.
Afraid of dogs?
Yes.
I've watched you on
Brilliant.
in between meetings, you know.
Nice to meet you too.
My name's Freddie as well.
No way, is it really?
Absolutely, yeah, man.
chatting to the guy outside called Freddie, and I thought, it's fine, I'll just leave my helmet there, go and grab a coffee. So I walked into Hermano's coffee shop, and Freddie quickly said, hey, no, this is Tower Hamlets. You don't leave your helmet on the bike unlocked. So he gave me my helmet and I walked in. So he's probably saved me from having my helmet stolen. I'm so glad I filmed this. I was riding through Whitechapel and I saw a police escort. I think it was 3 police motorbikes, sirens on, and everyone, traffic left and right, splitting for them. And behind the 3 motorbikes, there were 2 4x4s. So I thought this has to be someone of some note, because the second 4x4 was a Bentley 4x4. So I was riding past, and as I was going past, I was peering through the window like that, trying to figure out who it was. And I think it was Princess Anne, the Queen's sister. I'm 99.9% sure. She was sitting in the back, peering out the window as I was going like that. It's incredible who you see. Triumph Speed 400, what's it like? Well, it's every bit as perfect as I thought it would be in the city. It's so light and agile and nimble. Honestly, I felt like I was gliding. I was fitting through gaps that even on the Bonneville I wouldn't consider. Let me say one more thing. I know I've mentioned this, but I got this tank bag about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and honestly, initially I thought, look, am I actually going to use a tank bag? Do I only want it because it looks good? But it's turned into like a male handbag for me. See, I can put...
You need a strap.
Actually, it does come with a strap.
Does it?
It does, I may put it on. I can put my keys in here, I can put my spare quad lock battery in there. I've even got a wire. I can have all this stuff on, clips on, carried along like that. I look like a businessman. Honestly, this thing is a bit of a game changer for me. It means basically for me, Monica has her handbag, and this handbag is usually taken up with half of my stuff. But now we've both got our own storage. I'm over the moon with it. Whitechapel's got an interesting, often quite dark history. The character Fagin from Oliver Twist, he was based on a criminal from Whitechapel. The Elephant Man, who was a heavily disfigured man, I think in about the 1890s, he was from Whitechapel. And he was put on display on a shop front on a road parallel to this as part of a freak show. Another person in this freak show was marketed as the ugliest woman in the world. And the most famous, most infamous resident of Whitechapel was Britain's most infamous serial killer, Jack the Ripper. Slaughtered 3 women, never found, never identified, on these very streets. And if streets could talk, imagine the things they would have seen. Look at this old classic. I have no idea what that is. I'm sure it's not in running order. What a thing to see parked up in London, though. No badges on it, left-hand drive, with a Vauxhall. I think that's a Vauxhall badge on the front. If anyone knows the model of that, let me know. Coffee beans picked up and time to get back. You know, I remember when a £4.50 bag of coffee beans from Lidl was more than adequate, and now only a £25 bag of Colombian coffee beans from a specialist will do. I've become such a coffee snob, it's pathetic. It's just so delicious. I can't help it. It said on my sat-nav that it would take about 46 minutes to get home, but that's taking into account the traffic in London. And on the little Triumph, I managed to do it in 22 minutes. I was checking through because I thought this is a microscopic amount of fuel that it's using. It's taken up only 1 bar of fuel out of 9, and I've been riding for the past 3 or 4 days. I thought this is looking pretty phenomenal, and I checked the average MPG that I've been doing, and I haven't been trying to ride economically, but it's 76 miles per gallon average. That is so close to the claimed fuel efficiency, which is, I think, highly, highly impressive. London, a city of just the most insane contrasts. I was riding back and I saw, apologies I didn't film this, I accidentally left my Insta360 with Monica, but I was riding back through London. There was an Aston Martin DB5 just driving the opposite direction. This has got to be a £500,000 car, and right behind it was a lovely looking Land Rover Defender. And about 10 minutes later, while I was riding along, I witnessed a white van driver and a motorcyclist almost have a side-on collision and then a physical fight afterwards with all of the traffic stopped behind me. Luckily, I managed to just get past in time. The excitement never stops. I'll wrap it up there. I really hope you enjoyed coming along with me into London today. Have a brilliant week all. See you all in the next one.